Hello everybody and welcome back to Crusader Kings 2. I am Nerdstalgic and this is my cat. Anyways, yeah, got a little visitor in my lap right now. She just wants to be a part. So, in our last video, at the very end, our oldest child came of age. So we need to get him married, right? And we want to see if we can set him up with somebody either that has really good traits or huge tracts of land. So typically early game, I like to go more for trading to kind of get that set up in the family line. Goodbye, kitty. So let's see what we got. I click this button. When you click this arrange marriage button, this brings up a subset of available marriage targets that are more, I guess you'd say, of royal station. So we can see it brings up Princess of the Holy Roman Empire, Princess of France, Princess of Aragon, daughter of a Doge, Princess of Galicia. This is the sister of the Duke of York. There's quite a few single ladies here. I'm just kind of, my goodness, I'm just kind of scrolling down through here to see if there's anybody maybe in Ireland that looks like there's pretty much everybody but Ireland. Yeah, I'm not seeing anybody Irish. No Irish. Lots of potential target. I mean, is there anybody here who's a genius? No. Any strong? No. Any quick? No. All right. Well, in that case, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go over here to find characters, search all, and we're gonna do it the old-fashioned way. We want them to be our religion, and culture doesn't really matter so much. So first thing we do is we look for genius, and we have two options. We have Fosca here, courtier in Bologna. She's Italian. She's also just born, so it would be a betrothal. Or we have Fresend, the courtier in Lecce. She's 20. She's Norman. She's content. She is a genius and a gray eminence. She has really good stats, actually. So, what about strong? Strong? Plenty of strong. Oh, my daughter. I have a strong daughter. I didn't even realize that. Oh, yeah, actually I did. Okay. If we went with strong, we'd probably want to go with somebody with good martial. Daughter of a baron. There sure is a lot of homosexual since the new stuff came out. Not saying anything bad, I'm just saying it seems to crop up a lot more. I think we just go with the genius, to be honest. She's the cousin of a count, so maybe we won't lose a ton of prestige. Okay, so yeah, it's still going to lose. King Fursu is going to gain 1 prestige from marrying into the house, but he's going to lose 200 prestige from marrying a courtier. But the thing is, it's like he's going to have a lot of time to gain prestige. We're going to load him up with some. Honorary titles to help him with that, so it should be fine. And the fact that she's a genius is really nice because he's quick, she's a genius. Hopefully they can make some babies that have some smarts to them. Alright, so we're gonna do that, and then while we're thinking about it, let's go ahead and give him some honorary titles. So we're gonna do the same thing that we did for our current character. We're gonna make him the designated regent because it comes with a lot of monthly prestige. And we're also going to make him the cupbearer because it comes with a lot of... So that's like almost 3 prestige a month. So he can burn off that negative 200 in, what would that be? 66 months, 67 months. Maybe a little bit more. So that's only like 5 years. So that's not bad at all. Okay, so that takes care of that. Now, so that we can just dismiss that. Council's still discontent. Yeah, whatever. Only discontent for a few more months, and really they have not factioned very much at all, so. This pleases me. Alright, so let's keep going here. Okay, we can collect royal aid duty. So we can take 40 gold, or we can take 100 prestige. I think the gold is, even though we are getting less prestige per month, I think the gold is probably the way to go here. We have 350 prestige. We're going to be going to war, so we'll gain a lot of prestige from war, and I'd rather have the gold. So let's take the gold so that we can maybe get to that war chest a little quicker. They did approve the medium centralization law, so now you can see we can hold 5 in our domain, so we can pick up another county. And indeed we may very well soon, hopefully, be pushing for Osrage here. Now, once we got Osrage, we could, let me just show you guys this, we could make a new duchy. But it's not always the best thing to just make a duchy because you can. So if we look here at County Olegan de Jure, we can see it's de Jure Duchy of Leinster. So if we had both of these counties, we could create the title Duchy of Leinster. Now, what would this do for us? Well, it would cost us some gold. It would cost us some piety. But we would gain a pretty good amount of prestige for it. And we would gain more monthly prestige because we would be a double duke. Now, what would be the downside of this? Well, the downside of this would be that this is a pretty small duchy. Normally, what you want to do is you can only hold 2 duchies. So, well, you can hold more than 2. But holding more than 2 engenders resentment among your vassals. So you don't really want to hold more than 2. So by that logic, you want the duchies that you do have to be the biggest that they can be, which we've already talked about a little bit. So really the duchy that we want to make is up here. What would end up happening if we made this duchy, we would probably end up destroying it down the road. So it would be kind of a waste of money and piety. So I'm probably not going to make it. There's no real point. It's not like if we make it, we're going to get de jure claims on something because we can't even make it until we have everything in the duchy. So, I remember it's been a while. It's been, a year and a half. But used to, if you had one, like if it was a 2-county duchy and you had one, you could create the title and then use that to make a de jure claim. But now you can't do that anymore. So, all right. Well, let's just keep going. We're waiting on either the Count of Osrage or the Duke of Gwynedd to die before we press that claim. Okay, Council is no longer discontent, so yeah, that went away. Very good. Very good. Stood by the stained glass windows and tried to look through them when the priest approached me and asked what I thought about them. A courtier by my side spoke before I managed to say some very unfair opinions about the multitude of colors used. It saved me, but only for a minute. So the queen basically saved us from sticking our foot in our mouth. I tried to get away with repeating Queen Uctreda's opinion about the stained glass window, but her probing questions made me confess in the end. I hated the colors and the motif was just stupid. So the priest thought it to be unfair. So basically because we're arbitrary is why this happened. Oh my gosh. Arbitrary is so bad. We need to get rid of arbitrary and gluttonous. Too bad we're not Buddhist. If you're Buddhist, you can actually have ambitions to purge your sins, basically, and get rid of negative traits. It's pretty neat. So it looks like Scotland's having some revolt problems. England, what happened with England? So England looks like they lost the 100 Years' War. Actually, yeah, Henry Godwin won. But they don't have any land in France. Denmark did not win. In fact, how is Denmark doing? Gosh, Holy Roman Empire, you're so big. Spain is kind of a mess. Okay, so we had a... No, our heir already had a son. Wow. That was certainly quick. Unfortunately, he does not have any good traits. My obesity and my hunger for food has left me with no desire left in my body. All that is left for me is to eat, eat, and eat. They all resent me. It was devastating to hear Almolgade's harsh critique, how my constant eating and bad table manners is revolting to everyone and that I severely need a diet. Well, hopefully this could help us to lose gluttonous. That is hurtful. Why would you tell me this? Yeah, gluttony's not good. Okay, we have a child with an issue. So this is our daughter who's strong. Unfortunately, she cannot inherit because of our current inheritance laws. But what we can do with her is once she turns 16, we can look around and see, try to find like people who have claims, invite them to our court, and then we can marry them to her matrilineally, which is good because then it keeps her trait strong in court, and it will also give us hopefully some claims on some things. So she is strong, she's brooding, and she's fussy. Now, so what we're going to want to do is we could do stewardship, could also do intrigue. I think stewardship's the way to go. And then whenever you have anybody that has fussy, you want to pair them up with an educator who is diligent, because they can shape that fussiness into diligence. So we have two options. We have Trodild, great name. But she's Portuguese, and the problem with that is that if we assign her as the educator, there's a chance that our daughter could become Portuguese, and we don't want that. The other one is Merchade here, who is our cousin, and he is diligent. So we're gonna go ahead and let Merchade educate her. So we're rolling right along. We're making 7.5 gold a month now. Very good. Young Tamare. So this is my... Oh, I had a quick daughter too. I didn't realize I had a quick daughter. Maybe they shaped her into being quick. I'm not sure. Young Tamare has finished her education in diplomacy. It's evident that she excelled in her studies. So she also became a charismatic negotiator. She's quick. She's a charismatic negotiator. Her scores are not bad. She is homosexual and she's lustful, so kind of balances out actually there. So what we want to do with her is the same thing that we talked about doing with our other daughter. We want to look around and see if anybody has any claims. Particularly interesting would be strong claims. If we can find some people with some strong claims to marry to her, then we can get those claims maybe passed down to our children, and then to our children, and then wage that war for them. Who is this? My courtier Conan McTag. Willful and affectionate. Okay, well that they're kind of at odds there, aren't they? So I guess Marshall, yeah. And then let's see. Let me look at our ye old education chart here. Let's see what we got here for willful. For We don't want to intervene on willful, and here's why. Because willful can only become good things. It can become ambitious, which is pretty good. Well, decent. It can be, it's double-edged sword. Brave, which is good, or stubborn, which is not bad. If we intervene on it, then we make it into a bad thing. Proud. The other one that he had was affectionate. So we could intervene on affectionate for charitable, but I think we just let it go. Because it could be kind, content, or trusting. So I think that's fine. So instead, I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to educate just for martial, maybe. Well, hold on. You're a tough soldier. We got anybody with any... Okay, we do have a brilliant strategist here. Yeah, that's what we'll do. I don't know that really matters so much anymore, but we'll give it a shot. We'll see how it turns out. Okay. Dear King Brian II of Mumu, during your wife's recent visit to Marrakech, we had a great time discussing the similarities between our people. I suggest a non-aggression pact between us for the near future, and we will welcome any visitors from your realm with open arms. So this is the Sultan of Mauritania, which is where... Wow, that's a pretty big area, isn't it? Okay, well, wonderful idea. So we now have a non-aggression pact. That's crazy with a Muslim kingdom. What's this? Arranged marriage. Goes Patrick Dunbar. You are the leader of a Scottish revolt. I never married a Scottish revolt. Oh, they're wanting to marry my daughter. Yeah, we need to find... I remember now. So we need to look around and see about claims. Well, let's just start in Ireland and see what we've got. So to find claims, you just click on the place you're wanting to look at. And then click on the shield or the heraldry of that place, and then it's going to bring this screen up, and then you just click claimants, and it shows you all of the claimants. So we can tell from the thumbs down that they would not take an invitation to court. They have to be dissatisfied with their current state, and they also have to like you. So just look around. Let's look everywhere. Okay, so these two people would both take an invite to court. Now, here's the thing. I'm probably going to invite, regardless of this guy, what's going on with this guy, okay? He has a weak claim on Oath, but he's not married. And he's quick and a brilliant strategist. We're going to go ahead and invite him to court. This is a good way for you to get people with good traits and good scores. Is by doing this. What about you? Another weak claim. Probably going to leave you alone. Let's see what else we've got here. Sildara. So he would come, and he has a strong claim. Oh, but he's married. So if we really wanted to marry him, we'd have to kill her. We'd have to kill Siobhan. So I think I don't know. I think we just leave that alone. Okay, Grufford. He's Welsh. He has strong claim on Dublin. Strong claim on the petty kingdom of Gwynedd. This guy has some really good claims. So yeah, we're gonna bring him in, and we're probably gonna marry her to him. For those matrilineally for those claims, because that's too good to pass up, really. But let's keep looking around. No claimants there. We already have this guy at our court. Really? Not married either. Okay. Countess, you're already married. Yeah, if you don't see any kind of a thumbs up or a thumbs down, it means they're already in your court. I didn't even realize that guy was in our court. Okay, she would come. She has a strong claim on Tirchonel. She is betrothed to... Who is this? You know what? I'm going to actually invite you to court, and then when this betrothal pops up, we might be able to just shoot that down. You have a weak claim. Okay. I think that's good enough. So we're going to marry her to that guy that has those 2 really nice claims. Matrilineally, of course. Okay. So she's here now. Okay, that's the guy right there. Strong claim on Petty Kingdom of Gwynedd. Strong claim on County of Dublin. Now, what's good about strong claims versus weak claims is that a weak claim can only be pressed under certain circumstances. Either a title is already being pressed in war, it has a female ruler, or if it's a regency, like a child. So, strong claims, on the other hand, can be pressed any damn time you want, which is why they're so good. Now, the thing is, if we were to, we're going to marry him, right? Matrilineally. If we were to press this claim right now, what would happen is he would become King of Wales, or he would become Duke of Wales, but we can't hold the Duke under us because we're not a king yet. A Duke can't hold a Duke under him. It makes sense, right? So, we don't want to do that. Also, even if we were, the thing is even if we were, say, King of Ireland right now, if we pressed his claim, he's not landed, and he's not even of our dynasty. So what would happen is we would basically be setting him up as the Duke, and then his children would be of our dynasty, but I don't think that they would inherit. When they inherited, it would become part of Ireland. I don't think. So what would be better here would be to either, number one, become King of Ireland and then land this guy and then press that claim, or number two, wait until they have a kid that inherits that strong claim and then press it for the member of our dynasty, which makes a lot more sense. So we're going to arrange marriage with my daughter. It's going to be matrilineal. The relative of a duke. Wait a second. Oh, that's because he's in our account. Okay. Yeah. So there we go. So we have arranged a marriage. That's exactly how you should do it. We have just arranged a marriage into some nice claims for us. Strong claim on Dublin, which is a nice target for us, and then the Petty Kingdom of Gwynedd, which is another nice target for us. So very, very good. All right, so I think that's a pretty good place for us to stop. We're still waiting to see, he's 57, he's 62. He's also gouty and infirm, so he could die at any time. Once that goes down, we're probably going to try to take Osrage. I think we have... Okay, it is just this guy, our spy master. Yeah. Why are they against it? Too strong. Okay. Yeah. I agree. So, we're going to wait on that, and then hopefully the guy that I just married my daughter to, hopefully they have some kids with some claims. Be good. And yeah, we're going to keep on working. I guess we're going to work towards, what makes sense for us here is to work towards becoming King of Ireland, is what makes sense. So we're going to work towards becoming King of Ireland, and then after that, we'll see. It could be Scotland, it could be Wales. I would say normally Wales is a bit easier to branch off into, especially now that they've added this straight crossing here. But Scotland can be a nice place to work into as well, because it is not uncommon for Norway over here, which you can see Norway is already in Orkney. It's not uncommon for Norway to start coming down in here, and that can be a bit of a pain in the ass. So, because Norway is usually pretty strong. Yeah, he's pretty strong. So, King Loden. Anyways, thank you guys so much for joining me, and until next time, game on.